Ahum, and thank you for joining me today. Today, we are going to talk about different moon phases. And the reason why I want to talk to you about different moon phases is because I believe there is a following, but only from uh, reminders that you get from different groups. You need to be empowered. You know that this group, our spiritual group, has to do with teaching you how to fish. Well, you can't fish on your own if you don't use the noggin enough, right? And you're not given that power of knowledge. And that's what this group is all about, giving you the power of knowledge so that you can sit down and understand and create the sacred space for you to receive wisdom outside of space and time, because that is, after all, the best way of receiving any messages. It happened a long time ago, and it's going to happen. It needs to continue happening at this point, whether you're a newbie or not. That doesn't matter. But what are the spiritual significances of all the phases our moon, Mother Moon, for that fact, goes through? What is it that happens? Well, let's look at it in a scientific point of view, because at some time somebody decided to separate science from spirituality, and I believe, based on the information that I'm getting and the research that I've gotten, that is where we lost the connection. Okay, we can blame anything and everyone and every circumstance in the world, but myself, what I believe is when they were both separated for whatever reason, we were supposed to find our way back, and we're understanding the connection, but we have a lot of room to grow, and we have a lot of work to do. Our moon and the sun equally, all right? Because we have to think of them as bodies that are taking space within space, all right? Remember, every time that I tell you there are energies, intelligent energies all around us, okay? So between here and the moon and here and the sun, there's intelligent energy, however it is, however you want to imagine it, it is you. And you know that I hate the word imagine. Let's talk about visualize. Let us talk about visualize. So from here to the moon, there's a plethora of energy that is around the moon and in between. So the moon and the sun produce energies and frequencies, okay? And we all know frequencies are energies. So these frequencies and these energy show up as waves on the technology that we have so far been able to produce for us to see beyond anything that is not material, right? We can touch this, we can see this, right? But anything from here to the moon, there is a vast amount of space that we don't touch, or do we? We don't touch linearly, but we do touch energetically. You have to keep that in mind. Keep it in the back. Just grab it, put it in the back of your head. Okay? Now, the frequencies or these energy waves. Now, I want you to remember when I went to Full Sail and I learned electronics, how to fix electronics. Don't ask me now because I have no idea what I'd be doing. I want you to understand that everything is a wave, as we have been able to discover. So these energy waves actually influence the Earth's tides and the actual water content inside our bodies. Oh my God. Yes, it does. Because we are what percent water? Yeah. So that's about right. Okay. All right. So what does that do? Well, we all know that it gives rise to emotions, to behaviors, and to our consciousness in many different ways. The list is infinite. Okay. In how many ways these frequential waves, these energy waves actually penetrate and influence not only the tides and the water on Earth, but also the amount of water we have inside ourselves. So if we are feeling emotions and behaviors in our consciousness and in our bodies, and it's doing the same effect on the Earth, just like we have emotions and behaviors and a consciousness, so does Mother Earth. Grab that, put it in the back of your head. All right. The sun has always been known to represent the outer world. That's why it's outside, right? Far away from the earth. So remember that too. The sun represents our outer world, right? It is our personality, our ego, our identification. How can I explain it? It represents, just like the sun brings out and shines its light onto the world, so do we. We live on top of the world, right? We don't live inside our world. So just like the sun is giving us light and giving Mother Earth light, so do we spiritually and energetically give back. Just like the sun projects its light on the moon and on the earth, it also projects life on us. We can't forget us. All right? We cannot forget us, what it's doing to us. But then let's take it even further. Just like the sun and the moon are projecting out the actual reflection of the moon, of the sun, and gives off light, bounces it out to the universe, so do we. And the moon does it too. Grab that, put it in the back of your head. All right? I want you to understand that. What does the sun offer us? Well, it offers us light, it offers us courage, it offers us strength, and it actually, if we allow it, it illuminates our soul. It illuminates our chakras. It, used appropriately, it grows plants for us to do what? Eat, nourish our bodies, warm our waters, warm the waters inside us. And it nourishes us, right? Without even the need to eat anything. How many of you have gone to the beach or to the lake and a beautiful sunny day? Remember when we were young, we would play out in the sun for a whole day. It wasn't until we were dragged back into the house that we were forced to eat dinner. You remember those days? We were nourished by the sun. Nobody talks about it. right? Nobody talks about it. But we've been, as children, fasting all day, spending all kinds of energy that we could have only gotten from the sun. Grab that, put it in the back of your head. The sun represents yang, which is also a masculine archetype, but it's an expression. Okay, it's what we've been fed, what we've been given. Okay, take that, right? But here comes Mother Moon. Mother Moon then represents the inner world, our inner world. Rightly so, the moon, now we can see how the moon affects our mental health. And many people, you always hear people, oh my God, it's going to be a full moon. You hear it in the hospitals all the time. We're going to have a full AR. Yeah. Yeah. If you know this, don't make fun of it. Understand the people that are coming to you are being I guess it is not manipulating. It's the frequencies are actually arousing their emotions to a level that they are unable to understand and control. So while the sun represents the outer world, the moon represents our inner world, okay? Here is where we associate the mother moon or the moon with emotions, just like I explained. Sorry, my birds, they're having fun today. Desires, our fears, ego comes out representing fear and worries, dreams that don't make sense, or dreams that actually kind of, sort of scare us. But it also brings out our shadow self. All right, it represents our feelings and anything that we have put away as we were growing up and conditioned to believe, that have become part of our unconscious process. Okay, so the moon has to do with the past, right? The past. Here is the sun representing more or less the future and the present, because it's shining a light that you can see from far away in front of you, right? Because behind you, you're going to see your shadow. But the moon is actually shining or reminding us or becoming that representation of the past. This is then going to be yin. So we have yang with the sun, yin with the moon. Yeah, you could be writing this down, couldn't you? Or, in other words, while the sun is representing the masculine archetype expression, well, here comes the moon, Mother Moon, expressing the feminine goddess archetype, right? Rightly so. But what does the moon allow us to do? What does it enable us to do? It enables us to feel, to have feelings, and most importantly, to learn from our journeys in the past. But not only that, when we learn the lessons from our past, don't bring them to the present. When we sit and we learn about the lessons we got in our past, Mother Moon allows us enough creativity to unlock that past, ruminate and work through it, right? Make it something that we learned to move forward from, and then it becomes part of us. It is a part of history in the shaman sense that we take, and each one of our chakras is going to process that past and that learning experience, that wisdom that we gained. It's going to lock it inside. It's going to be part of our DNA. It's going to be part of the intelligent energy around us, because that intelligent energy around us is always going to remember what that is. When we finally leave this body, our Viracocha will close up. And I always keep this. It's a little thumb drive. This is the information that all our chakras are going to bring up to our Viracocha, our 8th chakra. And if you join us in the shaman course, you're going to learn about all this. And then that Viracocha, if you go through the death rites correctly, which is very, very important, and you learn that in the group, you will be able to separate body from soul, and the soul will have a direct connection back to your tribe, back to your village, back to get more information and wisdom in preparation to either come back in whatever timeline you want. You want to repeat this timeline? You can do that. Anybody ever tell you that? No. You want to come back when you were born in 1939? You can do that. You want to go back and relive your life? Yeah, you can do that and fix things along the way. Yes, you can. Remember, we are living outside of time and space. We are in a world that we make parallelism a reality. But we can go more into depth later on. Don't get me started. Please don't get me started. Anyway, so that is the sun versus the moon and the energies that they bring in. Now, the new moon, new beginnings, right? New beginning. The moon cycle is if I'm not mistaken, and I don't have time to look for it, 29.5 days. That's how long it takes for what we call the lunar phases from the full moon to the new moon. Okay, so knowing that, you know that it's going to take 29.5 days to go from full moon to new moon. Okay, that's really, really important for you to understand as energy therapists, right? Energy gurus or energy practitioners. All right. So what happens during a new moon? Well, on a new moon, and we talked about it, go back to the Facebook teaching lectures and look for the new moon and information about the new moon. This is where the moon actually sits between the earth and the sun. Okay, so the sun is actually shining on the dark side of the moon. Okay, yeah, that's the part of the moon that we never see. Oh, I wonder why. No, just kidding. All right, so what happens? Well, we can't see the moon as the side that faces the earth because that particular part is not receiving the sun's energy. We are the sun's light. We're in the middle. We're right in the middle. So we're allowing light to hit the other side, right? The dark side. The dark side meets the light. Okay, so the moon and the sun are always on the same zodiac sign during a new moon. Oh my God. Why? Well, it's because it was designed to boost or to send out or create or emanate a huge concentration of energy. We started using it and feeling it yesterday. I told my group, a group of ladies that I work with, that yesterday there was something going on, and even one of their family members was having a really hard and strong headache, which happens, okay? And thankfully, because it was such a high concentration of energy that was passing through, we were able to add a concentration of protection, right? So that the energies could go through without a hitch. Now, everybody knows, and it's in the scriptures, guys. The new moon is when you set your intentions. It's where you get pen and paper, you write out your goals, you start new projects, you plan, okay, for these new projects and bring them into fruition, right? In the darkness is where you find that the ground is resting. Therefore, it is more open to its natural uh, energy of fertilization, right? So you're going to see that when the ground is resting, it's not resisting fertilization or its natural state of being. You can plant seeds, not only in your garden outside or in your farm, you plant them inside. And you just don't grab a pack and spread it, put the soil on top and water it. No, you take each seed. For us that are shamans, we bless the seed. We breathe in and breathe out essence and well wishes and prayer as we put it on the ground for Pachamama to join in the effort of helping fertilize and grow that seed full of prayer and love and expectation to be great. So it's the same thing we need to do when we plant seeds into ourselves. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Here's where we, and the new moon is where we really take mind, body, and spirit, and we take our conscious awareness, bring it to the forefront, and we focus on our desires. Okay? You can do a ceremony, you can do a ritual, you can do whatever it is, any manifestation, whatever, how it is that you are intuitively being given this energy to work with. Waxing moon. No, we're not getting the moon and waxing it. Even though it could probably use some wax, but no. The moon, when it's in the waxing stage, it is when it's transitioning, transitioning from new moon to full moon. I want you to understand that the amount of illumination changes, right? And it increases in size. All right. While the waxing phase, which is also understood as the crescent moon, the first quarter, the gibbous, all those terms means the moon is waxing. It's in this waxing stage or phase. What happens to the moon? Well, the energy of the new moon intentions that you set up during the new moon, all these seeds that you very carefully and consciously put on the ground and in your heart, your goals, your visions, they are now germinating and growing and building. During a waxing or crescent or first quarter or gibbous moon phase, this is when your dreams, your curiosities, your wisdom that your guides are bringing you, your intuition, your obviously you need to meditate, people. You when people tell me, oh, I can't meditate, that's bull, because you are sitting wondering and festering about why you can't meditate. Guess what? You're meditating, except you're meditating in an energy level that is reminding you constantly that you cannot meditate. Change the energy to I can meditate, and meditate on the fact that you can meditate. That's all you have to do. Oh, it makes sense, right? Absolutely. But this is where your manifestations and desires begin to take form. Things are happening. Energies are putting things together. The thought that you put together during the new moon is now building and growing, and the energy is intensifying based on your desires. This is the God effect that I call. I can just imagine God sitting in a beautiful galaxy, sitting right in the middle and saying, I think it would be good to have a planet that can sustain life. He did that, I'm sure, in a new moon. All right. And at some point, that new moon started waxing, and all those intelligent energies started creating. Oh, I know this is going through a lot of people's heads, but just keep going and you'll understand. Okay, so this is the waxing moon. This is where you understand how this is a representation. This is a reminder of how you started an intention, and the energies around you are now manifesting and creating enough energy for things to happen as you desired. And at the same time, moving things away that might not work. You have to be conscious about that too. Okay. During the waxing stage of the moon, okay, you really need to concentrate on removing any fears, any control, any ego that you have trying to make what you're trying to manifest in that desire to happen. This also, because I want to touch on control if it happens or not. Control your level of self-destruction, of self-sabotage. During the waxing phase, this is not only for things to happen, but for you to start taking away. Spirituality means work, and you have to do the work. And if you don't do the work, then everything stays as is. You can have as many desires as you want, and everything is going to build up waiting for you to say, beam me up, Scotty, I'm ready. Okay? If you don't do that, it's just not going to come out the way you want. And there's millions and billions of people that have come and gone that have not gotten to that point. So here, during the waxing phase, while this energy and all your envisions and everything is actually building up, this is where you walk away with your ego and say, ego, please. Do just your job, protect me. That's your job, Mr. Ego. It's not to cause me fear, and I'm not going to add my element, an energy wave of fear, of self-sabotage, of control, while this manifestation is building. Get it? Now you understand how the energies that we push out affects the energies around us. So as the waxing phase, you need to be your calmest. You need to understand that it is going to be the best possible outcome. It may not have been the best one for us, but hey, there's going to be a good outcome. May not be exactly what you designed, but understand that if you look at a different point of view, you're going to really understand why it happened the way that it happened. Ego is the one that says, huh, so much work you did, and look at that. You still didn't get exactly what you wanted. Well, who the heck wants exactly what we want if we don't know what is good for us to want and have, because we don't know any better? But the intelligent energy out there does. And when we say we're not alone, it's not only that there are other earthly and non-earthly beings. There's energy all around us, and it's intelligent. And the moment we tap into that, the moment we understand that from here to here, there's energy and it's intelligent, we start understanding that following the negative masses doesn't work. Never has. To this day, 2022, July 13th, it has never worked. It is when we put our best foot forward without ego, without fear, that we actually are able to blend in and help that energy. Okay. Now, during the waxing moon, there's one thing you need to bring in: the energy of synchronicity. Guys, this is where I can tell you that you can believe in magic. This is divine magic. This isn't like a magic trick. All magic is divine. And it doesn't matter who wields it. What matters is how it's wielded, how it's manifested, how it was put together, and how these energies know is the right way. All right. This is where you begin to truly see for yourself the beauty of our existence in the present and in the past, and yeah, in the future. Because you're going to see existence during a waxing moon through your heart. Your heart chakra is the one that governs. For me, this is where I'm coming from. This is what I've learned. This is what I have proven to myself. I don't need to prove it to anybody else. But your heart chakra is very front and centered during a waxing moon phase. Because when you understand that you need to surrender these gifts that you're going to receive and that you're giving out to the universe, that is your heart chakra or your heart center telling you, or your soul saying, hey, yeah, things are happening. Okay? Things are happening. This is where we are able to hold on to abundance and allow it, enable it to happen. This is where we start feeling joy. You notice a couple of days, a month, you have this incredible boost of joy. And then there's an incredible boost of sadness. And then there's an incredible boost of, I don't know what the hell I'm feeling. There you go. It has to do with the emotions and what is happening with the moon and the phases. And if you become consciously aware of, oh, this is what it is. All right, maybe I need to hydrate a little more, so that if I'm fully hydrated, I am able to move those energies around even easier. Hot dog. Here we go. When we feel low during a waxing moon, check yourself. Check yourself. Well, here comes the full moon. And I know that I've taken a lot of time to explain just 3 phases so far. And I'm going to go into just 2 more, the full moon and the waning moon. I'm not going to go through a lot of the other influences of the moon. I'm just trying to go direct, but I'm trying to chew it up as much as possible, because I know that when I am in meditation and yes, there are things I do not understand. And when I see my spirit guides hitting their heads and going, oh my freaking God, how stubborn can you be? They love to call me stubborn. I don't think I'm very stubborn. Maybe I am. I guess I need to sit in the waxing moon for a little longer. Okay, so here comes a full moon. Now, a full moon is right in the middle of the 29-day lunar cycle. So you know that in the middle of the 29-day of a lunar cycle, you're going to have a full moon. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to know your moon cycles. It's science. I know everybody dogs. Well, we need to teach our children finances, and we need to teach our children law, and we need to teach our children this. Listen. We need to teach them about not only spirituality, but science and how it comes together. All this, we have plenty of time to teach and learn, but we have to expose them to each his own. During a full moon, well, a full moon means that the moon is here and the sun is here. So they are facing each other. They're probably giving each other kisses. And they're saying, oh, fancy meeting you here. Or they're probably going, oh, it's you again. It doesn't matter. The idea is that the sun has fully illuminated the moon with the light of self, of itself. And it's spotlighting the moon for us to see it in all its glory. But the knowing that the sun and the moon are facing each other, we cannot dismiss the fact that they are now opposite sides of the zodiac when they are in a full moon phase. What does that mean, Mary? Oh my God. Well, learn astrology and you're going to know what it is. I can give you so much. The rest is for you to get your butt in gear and learn about what these things are. So you know that in a new moon, both the moon and the sun are in the same zodiac sign, yet in the full moon, the moon and the sun are on the opposite sides of the zodiac. Opposites means what? There are going to be challenges. There's going to be intensity of energy. But with intensity comes potential energy, right? And remember how we talked about yin and yang? Yin and yang bursts with energy and possibilities and probable possibilities. And how do they do it? In full harmony. They're both full at this point. Oh my God. Guys, this is not new. This has been happening from the moment our creator said, I'm going to get a bunch of people and put it in a planet. But before, I'm going to make this and I'm going to make a moon. I'm going to make a sun. I'm going to put it all together. And then he watched. Hmm. You know that part in the scripture says, well, he did this and he did that, and he saw that it was good. Well, you don't hear the part that says, oh, well, that didn't work. Right? That was taken out. Because there are things that work and things that don't. We just probably didn't need to know the minutia. Okay? Okay, so here is, and just so you know, I am reading from my notes for my new book that it's going to come out. So the energy, okay, so what is happening to the energy of the full moon? Well, the energy is actually receiving influential energy or influential capacities, influential opportunities. Let's call them opportunities. By the actual zodiac transit that it finds itself in. But this here in a full moon is where we have a heightened emotion. Here is where our feelings, our emotions, our perception, yes, even our intuition is sometimes challenged, okay? How we process day-to-day life and dreams. But just like this intensity in the full moon ramps up, so do all these things inside of us. Emotions, mental processes, all those things, okay? So when the sun and the moon are opposite each other, like I explained in the full moon, not the new moon, the full moon, what happens is you feel a lot more tension. Things that normally wouldn't really faze you at all, it does. You feel friction. You cause friction. All right? And what happens is that this energy is so amplified, and then you come in the mix and you fall into that aspect and play the part, right? And blame it on the moon, but you still chose to play that part. So it gets amplified through your beautiful energy, right? That's why it's so important to stay calm. During a full moon, this is where we need to be so thankful about what we have and what we don't have. This is the perfect time to walk in beauty and grace, to remember they're opposite, okay? It's opposing energies. So if you want to have friction with someone, stop it, silly. Go the other way. Practice being graceful. Practice grace, okay? And you'll see that there's so many good things that come out of that full moon, and your eyes get fully open so you can see with the light that is being projected, because it bounces right back to us, right? The full moon is a great time for moon bathing. People talk about it. It used to be done a long time ago. I remember myself bathing, having a moon bath with honey um, in a beautiful lake, and it's just a beautiful ritual where you use the power and the energy, the frequency of honey, which is a cleansing and healing energy, and with the light of the moon. Can you just imagine what that was all about? And yes, of course, you please don't stay like that near a lake. You're going to have all kinds of bugs just running after you. But then you cleanse yourself with a complete complete awareness and let that water run down and ground that sweetness for your life. I remember doing that, and it was beautiful. And to this day, I know that made a powerful impact for me and the um, the journey that I took. Um, on a full moon, we all know we do ceremonies, we do rituals. Candle ceremonies would actually awaken your consciousness. But you guys already know how to do all those things. I'm not even gonna go in there because today's long ass lecture is about the lunar moon, their phases. So here comes the waning moon. We're done with the full moon. Right? We have gone through that journey. We have learned that this is opposites. And while people want to tell you that opposites attract, not in this, not 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 in this context. Okay? Waning moon. Waning. Okay? What does it mean? It means the transformation or the transition from full moon back to the new moon. So what does it mean? Oh my God, the part that was illuminated starts getting smaller in size. So what happens? Here we go. It goes from gibbous, last quarter, crescent. The actual energy, the energetic essence of the full moon is actually moving very slowly, because remember, we're talking about almost a month worth of this journey of Mother Moon. It's moving inward, okay, back for the time of reflection. Here's where we review what happened during the waxing to full moon, what we experienced, and now waning out of it. We're going, what just happened? And you get another turn. You get another chance to get it right again. That's why it repeats itself over and over again. If it didn't happen here, it's going to happen here. If it didn't happen here, well, maybe it can happen here. What did you learn during your full moon? Expectations and your full moon trajectory, your journey. What did you seed into yourself in the ground during the waxing moon? And what came out in the full moon? Did you like it? Yay! Do it again. Did you like it? No. Then you get to clean it all out and start again with the next waxing moon. But the waning moon is the time for inner reflection. Yay, I did it, or damn, I did not. And what do I do? Well, here is where ego once again needs to step away from you, because ego is going to make you judge. Judge you. Judge yourself. Judge everything you have done, and it's going to beat you down. The reason why we get so many chances is because the universe already knows we're going to screw some of them up. Right? So here is where we sit back and go, damn, that didn't work in that relationship. Damn, that didn't work at work. Damn, I didn't get what I wanted health-wise. Oh, or it just didn't work. Or it did. If it did, get up and go. Do it again. Go to the next one. If it didn't, this is the time for you to reflect to see what it is you did not do to the fullest of your ability. It isn't what you did wrong. And that's one of the things that the waning moon tells you. It isn't what you did wrong. It's what you did not do to your greatest ability. It is teaching you, turn it around. It's teaching you that you could have done better, that you need to enable that part of your life that tells you, you know what, okay, I I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but what did I get? Yeah. Self-reflection is seeing things in a different point of view. Okay. All right. Now, when you understand that, when you see that point of view, oh, this didn't work because of this. Aha, right? You're going to be able to then, well, you need to be able to take ego out of the way and says, okay, what are my strengths? And I'm not kidding. You get a piece of paper and you write, what are my strengths that I've learned in this exercise? And what got accomplished? How close was it to my desires? Okay. This opens up a wonderful opportunity. This is why I like the waning phase so much. It opens up a wonderful opportunity for you to see your personal growth and then plan to expand on that. Exactly. This is where you learn to recognize where you are. Don't close yourself in. You say, well, this shit didn't work. No, do not close yourself in, because part of the learning process is for you during the waning period for you to open up and say, let us learn. I call the waning period the whining period, because a lot of people will whine through the waning phase, and rightly so, because they don't understand that this is the perfect moment to examine, put things on the table, make it happen, right? Here is where all your shadows will probably come out. This is where all your doubts, your self-sabotages, they're going to come out. Like, well, I did this and I did this and I did this. They're front and center. They're there. It's not for you to say, oh, so it happened again. No, no, no. It says, hi, I self-sabotage. Come here. Let me hug you. Let me show you why you don't need to do this anymore. Let me understand self-sabotage, my self-sabotage. And let me move you now and take the seeds from that self-sabotage, put those away. And let me bring in new seeds that are going to enable self-sabotage not to happen again. Oh, and where does that go? It goes into the waxing phase, because it's going to start all over again. Right? Exactly. So here is where your bad habits, you're going to see them. Remember that part that I said, what is it that worked and what didn't? Oh, there's a bad habit. Yeah, I need to work on that. And I don't want that in my next full moon. So what does that mean? You are now planning for a transformation. You're planning. Because if you're seeing it on paper, you yourself know that, oh my God, I got a bad habit. I've done this for the last 6 months and it's not working. Hot damn, I found what it is. I'm going to change that. Oh, I'm going to change that. That is the intention that's coming out through your mouth as a frequency, as an energy. And it's going where? Between here and the moon and the sun and every body that is out there. And it is saying to that energy, I am going to change that bad habit. And these energies, being intelligent as they are, will start working towards helping you change that. During the the waning moon period. It's a wonderful time to sit down and create a beautiful uh, set of magical tools for yourself. And these beautiful magical tools are the ones that you learned that didn't work on the full moon, that didn't come to fruition as you wanted in the full moon. And this is divine magic. This is where you ask and you shall receive. This is where you bring out your hand and you say, hey, I'm going to need some help. You're not going to see God's hand coming down from the sky. And if you do, listen, I don't know about you, but I would tell people, you know, but you're not going to see it, but you're certainly going to feel it. And this is where we need to sit and say, well, what am I going to choose? How do I choose? But you have to start with one thing. And it's the most fundamental thing that brought us all here today. Gee, what could that be, Mary? Well, let's try love. We're not here because someone is laughing at us. There are a lot of people out there with ego that say, oh, well, this is a video game, or this is like a comedy, or this is like a tragedy, and everybody up there is looking at us as we play like dumb people. No, this is, come on, really? Really? No, I beg to differ on that. This is where you start to choose love above all. You start with loving yourself. You are a temple. You are someone and something that energy passes through and helps you. The sooner you learn to understand that and to accept that and to enable that wisdom into yourself and your heart and your life, you will understand that you and your soul have such an immense potential. All you need is a little courage. And it does boil down to courage. We have been so conditioned to fear that spirit at the end of the world will send you multiple people to help you, yet you will not choose any because of fear. Oh, what if it's a false God? There is no false God, people. That was people telling you, be careful, because there could be a false God. So here comes God knocking at your door, and you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna open. Oh, I'm not gonna open, because that could be a false God. And this guy is standing there going, are you kidding me? Is this for real? Is this happening? So the one you have to be careful of is the people that, and the teachings that dumb us down, that causes fear. To connect with spirit, there must be no fear. Because if you truly believe this is spirit, spirit will walk in. And you will be in spirit. The spirit is inside us. You're not going to find it in any religion. You're not going to find him in any religion. You're not. You sit in your temple. That is where spirit resides. But anyway, that's another. Why? Okay, so waning moon. The waning moon is next to the new moon cycle. Oh my God. The waning moon is where you become the necessary warrior to start all over again. Are you a warrior? Can you do this until you get it right? Tell me how much of a warrior you are. I would love to hear. Tell us your stories. Tell me how this has touched you, how this lecture has touched you. And I'm so sorry that it has taken so long. It's 7:52 in the morning. I just wanted to share this with you to understand the new moon as it's coming up. I mean, the full moon as it's coming up, and why it is that you're feeling what you're feeling. It's important to be with self. It's important to understand you. And it's important for you. I don't know why my hand, I'm going to lower my hand. It's important to understand your existence. But more important is to understand the power that you have inside of you and where it comes from and how divinely made you are. I say, if you have spirit running inside of you, live as spirit. Live as a God. It's everyone's desire in history to become a God, but they did not. They did not behave as a God, did they? Your opportunity is here. It is here every single day. What would God do? Presented with what there is today, what would God do? What would God do for you? What do you want God to do for you? Whatever God it is, it doesn't matter. It all goes into one creator. Perhaps multiple creators. Either way, it all points to one. What would you want God to do for you? And then you as a God, what would you do back? Love is the only equation that we need to work out of. That is the only frequency that we need to work out of. Let that sink in. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful hump day. It is a beautiful day. Not only is it hump day, but it's going to be a beautiful full moon in all its glory. Enjoy it. Have a great day.